At 16 years old, my next guest is going above and beyond to get books into underprivileged kids' hands. She only started this back in March, and she's already given out more than 22,000 books. Thanks to the army of volunteers she's amassed all over the country. That's serious girl power, that's all I'm saying. And so different than any literacy movement we've featured before, because I love that it's by a kid for kids, and other kids seeing that makes it important to them too. It makes it cooler. Sorry, adults. But from Bookworm Global, please everybody welcome Alana! Woo-woo! I told her she looked so beautiful today, and she said, "None of this is mine." It's like, well, you look very beautiful. But tell me, how did Bookworm get started?
Well, I've always been a really avid reader, and I've loved reading since I could read. And so during the stay-at-home, I've been reading more and buying myself more books, and it got me thinking about how schools and libraries were closed. And there were these kids who live below the poverty line or underserved communities, and they aren't able to buy themselves books.
Yeah.
So I wanted to find a way to get them books that they could enjoy and read.
And what a time to need books. You know what I'm saying? We need the escapism, and I love that. I'm like you, I'm a teacher's kid, so like I love reading. So how does it work? How do people get the books?
Well, it spreads usually by word of mouth or social media posts, and we have over 230 volunteers. And we set up book drives, and then our volunteers either collect the books or people drop them off at my house. And then from there, we get them out to schools or nonprofits. And right now, we've been working mainly with schools because they are giving the books immediately. And we're trying to get them to schools where 96% of the kids are eligible for free meals because they live below the poverty line. And then they can get their books immediately, and they're able to read.
Yeah, and what a time to get your kids to read. I mean, you know, like kids that would normally be like, okay, I've played enough video games at this point, like give me something else. And then when you get into a series that you love, that's the cool thing. Like you get into one book you love, like Matilda changed my life when I was a kid. I read it and I was just like, what? And then it made me want to read more. So, you know, you find that one book that kind of turns a kid into a reader.
Exactly.
It's really cool. So tell us about some of the places that you donate to.
Well, we focus on schools and other nonprofits, and we recently donated 3,500 books to a school in Inglewood, near where I live.
Oh, that's really awesome.
Yeah.
And what a cool surprise. You're giving someone a whole story. That's really cool. Well, along with building this huge initiative, Alana is mentoring another young girl, a volunteer in the program. We have her dialed in. What's up, Rylan?
Hi.
Hello, I love your red. You both look so beautiful in red. I'm into it. So tell me, Rylan, why did you want to get involved in Bookworm Global?
Well, as soon as I heard that Alana had started Bookworm Global, I immediately asked my mom if I could be a part of it, as well as do something similar in my community. To me, it is so important to give people books that don't have the same option or access to books that they would if school was going on. So being able to just be a part of this organization that gives books to kids, especially during this time, it's amazing. And giving books to kids that allow them to immerse themselves into worlds they never thought possible, it's just truly an experience.
That, man, you just said it. Worlds that you don't think are possible, because it's like your imagination. Movies are awesome. TV is awesome. But your imagination has no budget. So you can create whatever you want from the story you're reading. And that's how I always try and get my kids to think when they're reading. But so Rylan, you did your own book drive for Bookworm last year, right?
Yes, I did. I did a book drive for National Literacy Day, which is on September 8th. I collected over 600 books that I sent to the Children's Book Project. And I felt like a spark that was helping to ignite advocacy for literacy. And I realized that if I could affect 2 people, then those 2 people affect 10 people, and those 10 people affect millions of people, and so on. And especially, I can't forget seeing people smile when they're receiving or donating the books. It just doesn't get any better than that. So, Alana, I'd like to personally thank you from the bottom of my heart for allowing me to be a part of such an amazing organization. Thank you so much.
Oh, I love this. I wish we could group hug. That was so sweet. I heard through the grapevine that one of Alana's favorite writers is Anna Todd. Anna Todd is really incredible. She started her career simply putting stories up on social media, and things blew up. That's literally how everything happened for her. And now she's a New York Times best-selling author whose work has been read over 1 billion times. But so what do you love about Anna's writing?
I love how Anna connects her books to older books. Like, I love Pride and Prejudice. That's one of my favorite books.
Me too.
Yeah, I read it for school last year, and it's my favorite book now.
Oh,
and
you should try Jane Eyre. Okay, keep going.
I have.
Oh.
But I love how she connects her characters to Jane Austen.
Yeah.
Like, her characters develop the same way. Like, they're not perfect, and they have development of their character through their relationship, through their love story, and you're able to kind of go through it with them, and you're able to love them the same way that they love each other.
Yeah.
And it's similar to how Jane Austen does it, and similar to how many other writers do it. So then it pulls you in even more.
Oh, I love that. And we were talking during the break, like, and then it becomes a series that you're like, I gotta get to the next book. Like, you're like, I love that. When you stay up all night and you're like, this is a poor decision. If I go to sleep right now, I get 4.5 hours of sleep. Like, you start making very poor decisions.
Yes.
But it's so great, though, at what writers, like a great writer can do for you, that you connect with. So how would you feel about meeting her? Would you ever want to meet her?
I think that I would like
Okay.
cry.
Well, good news. It would have been weird if you'd have said something else. We actually have her on the line right now. Hi, Anna.
Hi.
Hi, hello. So I am so wonderful. We were just talking. Look, she's freaking out. Alana's freaking out. Well, wait. So Anna, your work has been read over 1 billion times. How important was reading to you as a kid? Was it always important, or did you kind of learn to love it?
It's always been important to me, but unfortunately, I grew up in a place where I didn't have too much access to reading. So that's where my love of classic literature came. I'm not advocating for this, but I started kind of stealing books from my school and things that we were supposed to read. I gave them back most of the time. But once my teachers realized I was doing that, they sometimes would let me keep them. But I had my first friends came from books, and the way I learned about the world came from books. So I've always been a reader, but I never really thought writing would be something accessible to me. So I just read and read and read.
So Anna, what do you think of Bookworm and all that Alana is doing? It's pretty incredible, right?
It's beyond incredible. I'm honored that you're even a reader of mine. I'm so happy to hear about this. I'm actually going to donate at least 500 books to your cause.
Yeah.
And I would love to talk to you separately after this, even just to, I don't know, send you a book signed by the cast of the film, something. I want to do whatever I can for you. I'm going to hit up all my author friends and try to get as many books for Bookworm Global. I'm very proud of you. You guys are beyond, I mean, even just the way you're helping the community and the thoughtfulness during this time. Everyone needs an escape, and you're giving so many people their first worlds and their first friends. Like, it makes me so happy, and I wish I was there to give you a hug.
Are you freaking out still?
I'm still like processing it. This is amazing. Thank you so much.
She literally, you're not here and you can't hear her when you're talking. She's like, she's just like.
I'm like having a panic attack. This is amazing.
Is there anything you want to say? Because I know, like, I actually recently had this season one of my favorite authors on as well, and it's so amazing when you connect to a writer and like their words like really just paint the imagery that comes in your mind, and it just creates this whole world that you can escape into. Is there anything you want to tell her?
This is beyond surreal. I don't even know how to react. Your book is like my favorite book ever. And I've read it multiple times, and I recommend it to people, and then people borrow my book, and someone almost took it, and I made them give it back to me, or my mom was gonna have to buy me a new one, but I have read them all. They are my favorites, and this is beyond insane.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
And what I find so cool is that you mentioned something, Anna, about when you were a kid, you know, you had to like steal the books from your school because you didn't have the opportunity. I didn't either. We didn't have a lot of money either. And I think what's cool about this is now you're helping in organizations that's helping kids like you. And who knows who will become an author out of that, you know, or who will be inspired by that.
Yes, that is incredible. Honestly, my favorite thing to hear is more people reading because of me or writing. A lot of my readers weren't really readers before. So this is incredible to be able to help such an amazing organization, especially made by a reader of mine. It's just full circle moment for me. it's amazing.
Okay, and I also just want to point out that we both have tattoos on our hands like this too. Like it's really weird. Anyway, though,
Agreed.
it's time for a break. Thank you so much, Alana, Rylan, and Anna for joining us. A powerful segment, y'all. Reading is so wonderful, so much opportunity, so much imagination involved. Please, please, please join Bookworm Global and help these kids get some books. We need it. We're trapped inside. Not for long, right? Let's get our lives back. Okay. Yep, I'm still here, just waiting for you to subscribe. If you don't, I'll be trapped in this box forever.